Greetings, good day. This is Donnie with Tech Winter. And guys, if you're like me and you live in the Northern Hemisphere, you know winter is upon us. Time to bundle up and time to be mindful of some best practices when it comes to keeping our Ring battery-powered devices charged. As you can see here, actually topping off one of my batteries right now. So without any further ado, let's dive in. Let's take a look at some best practices for winterizing our Ring cameras. So guys, battery powered technology is really a two-edged sword because on one hand, it gives us more portability than we've ever had before. I mean, I think about, our smartphones, our tablets, and just the fact that we can use them for hours on end. And have batteries that just continue to last and last, that handle recharging over and over again. I mean, I think back to the days when I was a kid and you'd have an NICD battery inside like your remote control car, and after 10-15 minutes the thing was just toast, and after several dozen charges it just wouldn't hold a charge anymore at all. Battery technology continues to improve and improve, but even with lithium ion technology there are some drawbacks, especially when we're talking about colder weather. And for those of us that live in the Northern Hemisphere, we're now wrapping up fall and we're approaching winter very quickly. Days are getting shorter, weather's getting colder, and we have to be able to react to how our batteries are going to handle that. Ring actually puts out some really great guidelines when it comes to the lithium ion batteries that we have in our devices and ensuring that they continue to work effectively even in cold temperatures. Guys, I've talked about it in another video, the Ring solar panels, and how for me they've been an absolute game changer. I'll put a link down in the description if you want to go check out that video. And I totally recommend solar. And for me, I live in the southern part of the United States, so we have a milder climate. It does get cold here. We do get snow, but it's not as extreme as some of my northern neighbors, whether that's in the northern part of the United States or Canada. But guys, I've been getting a lot of questions from people when it comes to how do I handle my Ring cameras in the winter when the battery isn't working as efficiently as it does in the summer. And fortunately for all of us, Ring has actually put some guidelines on their website. So again here guys, we're talking about battery powered devices specifically. So whether that is a Ring doorbell that is powered by a battery pack, or one of the other cameras, whether it's like a stick-up cam or a spotlight cam, any of these that use these proprietary Ring battery packs. So you guys know, if you've seen these, you know what I'm talking about here. These are the battery packs that we're talking about here today, and cameras specifically that support these batteries. So let's take a look at some of the guidelines that Ring has put out. Ring says that the following are key temperatures to watch out for in regards to your batteries. 36 degrees Fahrenheit or 3 degrees Celsius. The battery may not hold a charge as effectively, resulting in you having to charge the unit more frequently. So basically, if you're getting to that point where it's 36 degrees Fahrenheit, 3 Celsius outside, you just need to be aware that you're probably going to see a little bit more drain in your batteries. In my experience, this is weather that I do see. I will say, in my experience again, the solar panel does a good job of continuing to keep it topped off, even in some of these colder temperatures, assuming that I have enough sunny days with direct sunlight for that to actually be effective. The next one that Ring discusses here is 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. They say the battery may not charge at all. Even hardwired configurations may not charge the battery. So when they're talking about the hardwired solutions here, they're talking about Ring doorbells that you have hardwired in who are trickle charging these battery packs. So whether that's like a Ring doorbell 2, a Ring doorbell 3, a Ring doorbell 4, some of those options that are out there. Even in some of those cold situations, it may not effectively charge the battery. And really the last one here that they talk about, which is really a high urgency for me, is -5 degrees Fahrenheit or up to -20.5 degrees Celsius. The battery may stop working completely until the temperatures warm up. So guys, in this case, this is the one that really gives me concern, especially from just a security perspective. If you're living in a cold climate like that, Ring themselves have concerns about the devices being able to work effectively. So we are fortunate here that Ring does give us some guidelines of things to consider if we find ourselves in this situation. First thing they say here is to bring your device inside. When it gets cold and your device's batteries run out, bring your entire device inside and charge the battery with a USB cord. This will allow your device to warm up while the battery charges. Also, make sure your battery is charged to 100%. When charging your battery, be sure that it reaches 100% before you remount the device. While the battery still won't be as effective as when your temperatures are warmer, making sure that the battery is at 100% will allow your device to work as long as possible. Also, lastly, monitor your charge and the temperature. As long as the temperature hovers above the points listed above, you may have issues with battery charge. Therefore, it's important to constantly monitor your battery life when it gets cold to make sure your device is always working. And really, there is one last pro tip here that they mention. If your battery is too hot or too cold, the onboard software will keep it from charging in order to avoid damaging the battery. So in this case, you definitely want to bring the battery inside and allow it to change to room temperature before trying to recharge the battery. So one of the things I do hear about here is that sometimes just bringing it in, the battery is incredibly cold. Let it sit and get to room temperature before you actually go through that process of plugging it in and allowing it to begin its charging process. And of course, if it's charging, it's going to have two lights that are on, the orange light and the green light. And when it does reach full charge, that orange light does turn off. You only have the green light. That is your indicator that the battery has in fact reached 100%. So again, I live in the southern part of the United States. I don't deal with extreme cold temperatures on a regular basis. So this hasn't been a huge issue for me. I haven't found myself in a situation where I had to actually bring cameras in, but I would be curious to hear from some of you if you've had to deal with that. Is it a hassle? Have you had hardware completely fail and you had to work with Ring? What was that experience like? And guys, as always, if you've enjoyed the content that we've talked about here today, I encourage you to please like and subscribe. We'll continue to bring out new content as quickly as we possibly can. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Donnie with TechWinter, helping you make winning decisions with your tech. Have a great day.